Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Metal Emporium. Today I'm going to talk to you about the band Mercyful Fate. So Mercyful Fate was formed in 1981 in Copenhagen, Denmark by vocalist King Diamond and guitarist Hank Sherman after the delusion of their band Brats. Joining them was guitarist Michael Denner, bassist Timmy Grabber Hansen, and drummer Kim Rutz. After recording several demo tapes, the band recorded and released their debut EP in 1982. And here it is, the debut EP from Mercyful Fate. Some people call this the Nuns Have No Fun EP. I had to censor this, of course, so the YouTube police didn't flag us. This is a second pressing. The first pressing actually had a white border around it, I think it was supposed to be black, and they corrected it on the second pressing. But like I said, it's a second pressing. It is on the original Rave On label. Here's the label for that, and has a lyric sheet in it, and of course it's got some cool pictures of the band on the back. But yeah, this is classic, man. It's Corpse Without Soul, Nuns Have No Fun, Doomed by the Living Dead, and Devil Eyes. Great one. Up next, in October of '83, they released their debut album, Melissa. Now, I think this is one of the most important albums in heavy metal history. Just a great record. This is the first pressing on Megaforce Records. It originally came out in, I think, on Road Racer in Europe, and Megaforce Records licensed it for the U.S. And yeah, like I said, this is my first pressing. It's got insert in it, lyrics, this back shot there of the band. So many great ones on this one. Evil, Curse of the Pharaohs, Into the Coven, At the Sound of the Demon Bell, Black Funeral, Satan's Fall, and Melissa. Great cover art by Thomas Home. This is the 2005 CD reissue through Roadrunner. It's a deluxe edition. Had a few bonus tracks on it, and from like some BBC sessions. And it's got Live at the Dynamo Festival in Eindhoven, Holland in 1983 on DVD. Nice triple fold out here. And that's a great show too, the Dynamo Fest show. They only give you 3 songs on here, which I have the whole show on bootleg DVD, but it's not that great a quality, and this was like perfect quality on this. So I wish they didn't give us the whole show, but like I said, classic record, and this is a good version to find if you can find it. It's been out of print for a while, but Melissa, great album. Here's my Black Funeral EP from 1983. This is on Music for Nations label, and it's just a 2-song 12-inch single for Black Funeral, and it has Black Masses on the B-side. But this was a cool one to find. I've been looking for this one for a while. September of '84, they released their second album, Don't Break the Oath. That's another great Thomas Holmes piece of art there for the cover art. And this is another great record. This is my original Combat pressing for the US. I think it was Roadrunner again in the UK and in Europe. But in the US, Combat licensed it and released it. It's got the original printed insert in it. Crazy back cover here. You get individual shots of each band member, and King's kind of blacked out here in the photo. Makes it very mysterious. Not a lot was known except what you'd see in magazines and stuff, I guess, about them. But this one's got A Dangerous Meeting, Nightmare, Desecration of Souls, Night of the Unborn, The Oath, Gypsy, Welcome, Princes of Hell, To One Far Away, and Come to the Sabbath. This was the 1997 CD reissue through Roadrunner. It included Death Kiss demo as a bonus track. So I first heard King Diamond probably around 1987. I was a little bit late getting on the Mercyful Fate train here. A friend played me the Fatal Portrait record, and I actually went out and bought that on cassette. And then I remember seeing ads and stuff in Circus and Hit Parader magazine for Mercyful Fate. You know, it being the same ads that you'd see stuff, ads for Metallica and Megadeth and all for, you know, Combat and Megaforce Records. And So I went out to try to find some Mercyful Fate stuff, and the first thing I actually picked up was this album. It's called The Beginning, and this was released in 1987. And after King Diamond was having some popularity with the Abigail album had come out, they I guess Roadrunner wanted to jump on it and kind of take advantage of that hype and release something. So they put this compilation together called The Beginning. And what it is it's the 4 tracks from the 82 EP, and you get 3 tracks that are recorded for the BBC Radio's Friday Night Rock Show. So they were actually recorded live in the studio. Curse of the Pharaohs, Evil, and Satan's Fall. And it also includes a version of Black Masses, which is from the Black Funeral 12-inch that I just showed a while ago. But yeah, this is really cool. There's the back cover shot of the band there. And yeah, like I said, this was pretty much my introduction to Mercyful Fate. And here's the 1997 remastered version of The Beginning on CD. Roadrunner released this. And this one, it's the same thing, it's just been remastered, but it did give you an extra track. You get Black Funeral, and the version of Black Funeral here is from the Metallic Storm compilation album, which I talked about on the compilation album episode that I did earlier. But yeah, this is a great one to check out. Great introduction. If I had to tell someone the first record to buy by Mercyful Fate, I'd say get this one, The Beginning. So after Don't Break the Oath tour, the band pretty much broke up, and King Diamond started the King Diamond Band. But by 1992, there were some rumors starting to go around that they're going to get back together again. Roadrunner released this compilation of rare demo tracks recorded before their 1982 EP. Some were actually Bratz demos recorded after King had joined the band. So this came out as Return of the Vampire in 1992. Originally was on Roadrunner Records. This is my Metal Blade pressing that came out in 2016 on white vinyl. And so these are really cool. They're like I said, it's all demo tracks, and you've got some songs on here that would go on to be other songs later on, or parts were used in other songs. Like the song On the Night of a Full Moon is actually Desecration of Souls. Death Kiss would later be re-recorded and called Dangerous Meeting. And You Asked For It is actually Black Masses. There's the original Roadrunner CD for Return of the Vampire. So the band did reunite, minus Kim Rutz in 1992. And it was King Diamond, Hank Sherman on guitar, Michael Denner on guitar, Timmy Hansen on bass. And they recorded and released this album through Metal Blade Records. It's called In the Shadows. Great record. Very good comeback record for them. The drums are actually recorded by Morton Nielsen, but Snowy Shaw, who had been mostly recently King Diamond's drummer, would appear in all the promo photos and music videos from this period, and he would also be the drummer on the tour as well. It's a nice Metal Blade pressing here. It's got nice printed insert, lyric sheet. Actually came with a poster. I actually have a promo poster for this album, a real promo poster from 1993, like you used to see in the record stores. It's actually framed and hanging in my house. But like I said, there's the back cover for it, and really good album. I think it was a great comeback album for the band. The only thing I really do miss Kim Russ's unique style of drumming. He gave Mercyful Fate a certain style. It's almost a jazzy approach with his style of drumming. I believe that alone just sets those early recordings apart from what came later. But In the Shadows is a fantastic album. This is original Metal Blade CD pressing. Speaking of drummers, Lars Ulrich from Metallica actually guested on this album. They did a remake of the song Return to Vampire, and he's the drummer on that track. Now, I actually saw that tour in Raleigh, North Carolina, and it was a great show. It was the first time I ever saw King Diamond live, ever, and it was great. I think Flotsam and Jetsam opened the show, if I remember right, But yeah, it was great. I'll post some photos. I took some photos of that show. I'll post those here so you guys can see some of them. But I got some autographs that night. Actually, this is kind of cool. This was a actual Don't Break the Oath album cover that a friend gave to me. His record got warped or destroyed or something. But he gave me the cover, and I had the cover just hanging on my bedroom wall for years. So I actually just took it down and brought it to the show, and got all the band members to sign it that were there. I mean, I got even the guys that didn't play on. I mean, I got Snowy and Charlie D'Angelo, who was the touring bassist for that tour. I got him to sign it as well. But I got Hank, and I got Michael, and of course King Diamond. King didn't come out and meet everybody. They actually had his tour manager was taking stuff into the bus and getting them to autograph stuff. But he actually signed it. He drew some crosses in the eyes, and he actually made a little joke and marked through oath and put nail, like don't break the nail. And but yeah, this was a really cool piece to get from my collection, of course, and it's something I still cherish to this day. It's just great to have. So after In the Shadows, they released this EP, The Bell Witch, in 1994. And this was basically the song The Bell Witch from the album In the Shadows. And it has also has Is That You, Melissa, which was on the album. And it's got 4 live tracks, Curse of the Pharaohs, Egypt, Come to the Sabbath, and Black Funeral. So also in 1994, they released their next album, Time. Snowy Shaw would stay on drums for this. Charlie D'Angelo would replace Timmy Hansen. Timmy decided to leave the band, so since Charlie did a good job on the tour, they just kept him in the band. And you know, this one's pretty good. I don't think it's nowhere as good as In the Shadows. I mean, I really like Nightmare Be Thy Name, The Witch's Dance, both of which got music videos. The Mad Arab is good. My Demon is pretty cool. The title track, Time. Like I said, pretty good album overall. I'd like to get this one on vinyl sometime. The next studio album was released in 1996, and that's Into the Unknown on Metal Blade Records. Now, Snowy Shaw was out, and drummer John T. Holmes joined. He had previously worked with Hank Sherman in some of his projects. You know, I never really got much into this album. Some of the tracks were just a little too proggy for my liking. There is a couple of good tracks. The Uninvited Guest is good. That got a music video. Listen to the Bell is okay. Dead Time. Yeah. Maybe I need to revisit this one sometime because I find it the least inspired of the reunion period albums. 1998 saw the release of Dead Again through Metal Blade. And this would mark a new era for the band as guitarist Michael Denner would leave the group and guitarist Mike Weed, formerly of Memento Mori, coming in to replace Michael. Now I think Mike Weed comes from that same school of Michael Schenker style playing that Michael Denner did, so he was a perfect fit for the group. A suitable replacement, that is. But we do miss Michael. But that being said, I've never cared much for this album. The production was a bit muddy, and it was still going even more proggy than the previous stuff, and I just never really got into it. I know the song The Night got a music video. The opening track Torture is pretty good. The title track Dead Again is pretty good, but overall it's not one of my favorites to revisit. But maybe I should and give it another chance. So I was lucky enough to catch the band on tour for the Dead Again album. I saw them at Jack's up in Springfield, Virginia. And I took some photos at the show. I'll post some up here for you guys to see. But I was writing for a zine called Phase 3 Magazine. And I was doing album reviews and concert reviews. And Metal Blade hooked me up with some passes to get to the show and hooked me up with a photo pass that I still have here. So I took some photos at the show. And it was a great show. In 1999, the band returns with the album 9. And Thomas Holm actually did the artwork for this. He returns, kind of bringing back the horn skull. This is a good album. I actually like this one. It was some really good stuff on it. Last Rites, Church of St. Anne, Sold My Soul, House on the Hill, Burning Hell, The Grave, Insane, Kiss the Demon. Buried Alive, and 9. Like I said, good album overall. Another one I'd like to pick up on vinyl sometime. And this was the last studio album that Mercyful Fate has done so far. And I was lucky enough to catch the 9 tour when it rolled through Jack's at Springfield, Virginia, and got to see that one. Didn't take any photos at that show, but yeah, it was a great show. And that was the last time that I saw Mercyful Fate. In 2009, original members King Diamond, Hank Sherman, Michael Denner, and Timmy Hansen, along with drummer Bjorn Holm, recorded an all-new version of Evil and Curse of the Pharaohs for the Guitar Hero Metallica edition. And they released it on a picture disc, these new recordings. And here it is. This is the Metal Blade copy. And yeah, really cool. I heard them. I was like, yeah, this is cool. I got to get this. So I'm going to show you some cool Mercyful Fate bootleg unofficial records now. So when I was first getting into King Diamond and Mercyful Fate and all, I had a friend that was into them, and he had this record, and it's called Curse of the Pharaohs. And this is actually much like the Return to Vampire recordings. It's a lot of the same recordings. It's got stuff that they recorded before they got signed, of course, some demos. The band were called Brats, or they formed out of a band called Brats. So when King first joined the band, it was still the Brats, and I'll get into that later. But these were some of the recordings that were done under the Brats title and under Mercyful Fate. But some say this is a bootleg recording. Some say it was a fan club release, but it was widely available. It was sold in record stores. It was sold like an official release, and it was distributed by independent record distros. But this is a cool piece to have. It's got like Walking Back to Hell is basically Dangerous Meeting. Love Criminals is Into the Coven. So like I said, this is you know, demos and stuff that they did back then. And to accompany that was also this live album that came out, and it's called Live from the Depths of Hell. And this was done on the same label and was distributed by the same companies, and was getting them in record stores. So you could just go into like a record bar, Sam Goody, or anywhere and get these. Now, one interesting thing is the label that's on them, they say Satan's Nightmare, if you see here. It doesn't say anything about Mercyful Fate on it. So I just feel like they were probably snuck through the record plant somehow or another and put out. It's really a mystery how these were getting out, but both of these were widely available. I even have both on cassette. Here's a cool one. This is an unofficial album. This is on the Heavy Metal Records label. They always make really cool stuff. They put the Obi strips on them and to make them look like they're officially from Japan or something, but they're not, you know. So this is recorded March 7th, 1982 in Copenhagen. It says it's an audience recording, but it sounds more like a soundboard. I mean, it sounds really good. They're doing an early version of Melissa with different lyrics. It's called The Witch. There's an early version of Nightmare on here. There is Walking Back to Hell is an early version of A Dangerous Meeting. And but like I said, this is a very nice one. It's very well done. This one's on black vinyl. It has a cool poster with it of the album art, and you know, it's a cool takeoff of that first EP cover. Here's one called Nuns Hath No Head. Now this is actually Copenhagen, March 26, 82. It's got 2 tracks from March 7th. Both shows are in Copenhagen. This is an audience recording. I'll give it an A+. It's got some cool tracks on it. Here's the back cover for that. This one's on red vinyl, and it's on Dungeon Records. The Nun Hath No Head. This is a 2017 unofficial version of Melissa, and this is the original cover art that they were going to use for Melissa. So someone decided just to make a bootleg version of the album. I mean, you got the same back cover and all, but they put this on the cover since it was supposedly the original cover art. That is pretty cool, I think. So they made it a gatefold, got a picture of the band, got lyrics in it, but they even put the, it's on red vinyl, but they even put the Megaforce label on it. Anyone that really knows the history knows that that was going to be the original cover, but the back cover did have these photos, but it was white and kind of trimmed, I think, in red or blue or something. My friend Gary Schaefer, who owns the Heavy Metal Museum, actually has the original layout for the cover when they were going to use this. He actually got the proofs of that, and he's got it framed in his museum. But yeah, it was cool. I had to get it. It's a cool piece to have. Here's one called Fate, Bloody Fate. This one actually came out a few years ago. This is on the Reek of Death records, and they did a takeoff of the Black Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath album art. So that's kind of cool. There's your back cover for that here. This is live in Cleveland, Ohio. It's December 2nd, 1984, and it's a 2 LP set, and Reek of Death records. There's your back album cover for that one. This one's on like a gold colored vinyl, but this it's an audience recording. It really doesn't sound great. I'd probably give it a B+ maybe at the best. But yeah, I saw that album cover. I was like, I gotta get this. Here's one called Milano Black Masses. This was from like a couple years ago, I think 2020, and it's on the same label, Reek of Death Records. They take liberties with their artwork. I always thought the artwork's really cool on these releases. This one is like I said, Milan, Italy, February 20th, 1984. Here's your back cover for that. Got some cool shots of the band. And this one, once again, is a 2 LP set. They cram them in one covers. They don't do the gatefolds on these, but you know, it is what it is. White vinyl here on this one. But another cool piece to have. Here's one from the Heavy Sounds Festival in Belgium on June 10th, 1984. It's a audience recording. It's not great. I give it probably a B+ at best. But this is on the Cult Legends label, and of course they make it look like it's from Japan, like it's a promo DJ copy. But packaging looks great on it. Here's the back cover for that one. But yeah, decent set list on here. On all these, I'll put photos of all the set list on these so you guys can really check them out better than what I'm holding up here. But yeah, Satanic Rites is the name of this one, and on the Cult Legends label. Here's another one on the Reek of Death Records label. This is live in New York, 11/9/1984, and it's a double album. It's called Invoking the Devil. Another one of these fan art covers here, and here's your back cover here. Got a picture of King with Anton LaVey. I don't think he was at the show, but I think they just threw the picture up. But let's see, this is another double album, and this one is actually on a pinkish color, kind of looks like fire or something. It's an orangey swirled. Invoking the Devil. Here's one from 2020. This is Hell's Preacher, and the artist did a pretty good rendering of Thomas Holmes' artwork from the Don't Break the Oath cover. This was actually originally released in 2 parts. You can see the 2 different covers here. They combined them in as a double album with a gatefold, and the gatefold has the complete art inside, which is really cool here. But yeah, I had to get this one from the artwork, even though the sound quality on this is not that great. It's actually recorded in Denver, Colorado on the US tour in 1984, October that year. And good set list, and, but it's like I said, it doesn't sound that great. I'd give it a B+ at best, and it's on the Cult Legends label. This one was on orange vinyl. But yeah, this is a pretty sweet album cover. And here's one from 1996, Monsters of Rock in Sao Paulo, Brazil. This was August 24th, 1996. This is actually a split record. It's King Diamond and Mercyful Fate's separate sets. They did separate sets at the show. And this one has 3 songs, or actually 4 songs from each band on this. This one's called Fate Meets the King. Pretty cool album cover. Of course, this is on Reek of Death Records. And you got side Mercyful, you got the Bell Witch, the Uninvited Guest, Come to the Sabbath, and Satan's Fall. And side King, you get the Invisible Guest, Sleepless Nights, Meet Me at Midnight, and Abigail. There's your back cover for that one. This was on double albums on green vinyl. The great show. It actually sounds really good. This show was broadcast on television because I actually have the DVD of it here. And matter of fact, the DVD's got 1 extra song from each band. But yeah, it's the same show. And this is a really cool one to get, so I had to add it to the collection. And I had to show you this. This is actually a Mercyful Fate tribute album that a friend of mine released a few years back, actually 2013. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name of the band, but it's Mercyful Fate backwards. And the artist did a good rendering of the Thomas Holm artwork from Don't Break the Oath. But it's really cool. Here's your back cover for that. And my good friend Ralph Vieira from the Almost Human channel and his band Thrash or Die were part of this. So you had members of Thrash or Die, Hell Witch, Abysmal, and Made of Metal all contributed to this project. And it's really cool. If you hit Ralph up, he may still have some, and there are some floating around out there, but it's been out of print for quite a while. I just wanted to show this as part of this Mercyful Fate edition. You can actually hear this playing in the background. That's the music that you hear now. So I'll be doing a part 2 to this episode where I show my Mercyful Fate related stuff. So I'll show all my King Diamond and the other stuff that like Hank Sherman and Michael Denner and all have done. So that'll be part 2 to this, so be on the lookout for it. As always, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and come back and see us again next time on Metal Emporium.